You know, you can tell a major general, but you can't tell him a lot. So you're supposed to laugh at that. Thank you, Major General Inch. And bring it full circle a little bit. You know what he's talking about. And I know folks, I had the privilege, or when I first started, I was an officer. I ran cell blocks. I ran dormitories. And I've worked in jails. So think about it from that standpoint, some of the things that he's talking about, because some of the discussion today is going to be, a lot of the discussion today is going to be about mental health. And think about that from the staff. I know we got a lot of jail people in here. Think about that from your staff, that the environment that you bring somebody off the street and they're just, crazy. They're off the chain. Who's dealing with that? Who's going to be dealing with that? That's that officer. That's that deputy that's in that environment, having to face firsthand all those people. And I know there are a lot of folks in here that's done that. So you know what I'm talking about. So how can we enhance that with design? How can we make that officer's job safer, better, less tense, more supportive? Those are things that you have to think about. Why? Why do you have to think about that? Well, retention. I mean, in this world now, you know as well as I do, finding people that want to work in this environment is getting more difficult. You can find them, but keeping them after that is becoming more difficult. Correctional agencies, sheriff departments are having a hard time recruiting and retaining. So be open to these kinds of thoughts of how do we make an environment much better, not only for those that are incarcerated, the inmate, the detainee, whomever you have, but look at the staff, look at the operation for your staff. Those things are very, very critical. And it takes a shift in thought, a paradigm change of what was and now what can be to make it better. All right, at this time I would like to introduce an individual who I've known for many years, who I have the utmost respect for. Kevin Orme is with the Indiana Department of Corrections. He is the Executive Director of Construction Services. He's been with the department for 35 years, and he is the premier expert on correctional construction for construction within state agencies. He's been doing this for many, many years. He knows this world backwards and forwards, and it's a privilege that to know Kevin and to know his expertise, and I want to invite him up now to make his presentation. Kevin Orme, let's give him a minute. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, that's a heck of a lead-in. I hope I can live up to that. So just in full disclosure, you've got a former military police sergeant speaking after a former military police two-star general, so please temper your expectations. So I'm going to lead into a video that you're going to see shortly on a little project that we have going in Indiana right now. It's a $1.2 billion project, 1.4 million square feet under roof. Indiana's newest prison. Some folks call it the Westville facility. It's on the site of our former Westville Correctional Facility. Its new name is the Northwest Indiana Correctional Facility. It's well under construction, about 50% constructed, about 95% contracted. The project's going very well, but what you're going to see in this video and what's applicable to the discussions that we're having here today is kind of the design thoughts, a true departure from anything we've ever done in the Indiana Department of Correction before. This facility is a true departure in how we manage our population, in human efficiency, in security, in good practice, good process. From the moment we take them inside the fence, the moment they're dropped off the facility, they're not dropped off in the true means that we do at any other facility. It's a much more secure environment, a much more efficient environment. But what is critical to this discussion today, and the reason we're all here, is the great pains we went to develop a true rehabilitative environment. Now, as they said, I've been at this for 35 years. So you're hearing a correctional curmudgeon stand up here and talk about, a correctional dinosaur talk about mental health. Now, I didn't think that would ever happen. That's not where I started in the business, folks. But that's where we're at today, and that's what's needed in the current environment for services that we're delivering. So during this project, I learned more about mental health delivery, how to design the physical space and the techniques to give for both the therapeutic rehabilitation. I never thought I would be designing a prison, and no laughing, please. I hope you folks will understand this, with a garden in the mental health area, a therapeutic garden that they can use as a means to encourage good behavior in some folks that have serious mental illnesses that are the meat and potatoes of all the troubles we have in these units. So you're going to see some good video later on this afternoon. Later on today, I'm going to introduce you to one of the people that actually changed my train of thought and taught me or led me down the road that led to a whole new world of correctional construction. So like I said, the prison is well underway. You're going to see a good video. It's on budget. It's on schedule. It will be the most purposefully designed prison ever built in the state of Indiana. More academic space, more vocational training space. 240 purposefully designed, high acuity mental health beds in a step-down configuration. Was very, very important to us, as well as good security at every step of the way. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I think they want me to stick around for some questions afterwards. So please go ahead and run the video.
There's a lot of things that really make this facility unique. Number one is the size of it. We're a little bit over 1.5 million square feet, 29 total buildings on this campus, 4,208 beds. It's replacing two facilities, the existing Westville Correctional Facility and then the Michigan City Prison as well.
One thing that's really unique about this prison that no one else in the country has ever done, $1.2 billion in cash. We're not building this prison with bonds. We're not building it with any kind of alternative financing. They gave me $1.2 billion in cash to go build a new prison.
Really, the first thing we did was identify that we wanted to use steel cells for this project. That was going to be one of our driving factors. And then integrating all the technology that comes along with these steel cells.
The current cells are being put in by Polyjail Building Company, and they're being put in by good union steel workers. And this job is going wonderfully. I have quality control at every step.
Our team advantage is an extension of Polyjail. It goes to the partnerships we have in the industry with the leading manufacturers. We just started on site. Polyjail mobilized about 5 months ago, and we're making good progress. It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime project for somebody that builds prisons and correctional facilities.
The steel cells, I like setting the steel cells. I've done a lot of them, and it's a smooth process and goes very well. Union ironworkers, they're very essential to the project because they've been trained. They're skilled labor. We need a lot of guys when it comes to a project this size. It's really very essential for us to be able to take care of a project like this.
And it's just a team effort, like the people from Build Westville, the state of Indiana, everybody that's been involved has been amazing. So the unions up here have been great, the ironworkers, and it's gone really well so far, and we think it's going to be one of the best prisons ever built.
But what makes this facility truly unique is its dedication to mental health. So we have an entire building that's dedicated just to mental health for the offenders that are here.
In Indiana, the Indiana Department of Correction is the #1 supplier of mental health services in the state of Indiana. We went back and we looked at all of the other specifically designed mental health spaces that have been built in several of our other modern facilities, but we reinvented it. We worked with our mental health practitioners to design some of the most breaking edge technology, state-of-the-art mental health treatment facilities. But one of the things that I'm most proud of on this job site is the mental health unit.
So the very first contractor we onboarded to assist us in the design and do the whole design assist process was actually Polyjail.
Well, our design assist approach in the industry it's a new delivery method that's been around for about 7-8 years, and it's been unique to the corrections industry. And they bring subcontractors on early to help complete the design, keep it on budget, provide new and innovative products to the industry, help the architect and the design team finish the documents. The design assist ultimately saves them money and adds value to the project. So you're not redesigning it, you're staying on budget and designing as you go. Design Assist is open book, so they get to see the costs from multiple manufacturers, labor, materials, overhead.
This facility will be a legacy that will endure for the next century. And I'll be really proud of what we've left to the taxpayers, what we've left to the correctional practitioners and the people that will run and manage these prisons once I retire.
This is probably the pinnacle of my career, working on this project. You know, these things just don't come along every day. So having the opportunity to be out here as a senior PM and running this team with Build Westville and working with all these subcontractors, I don't think anything will ever top this. I couldn't be more proud of our team, of the work we're doing, and this project we're going to deliver.
So that's a really good video. One thing it doesn't show is you have no comprehension of the size and scope of that project until you see an aerial view of it. First thing we had to do is build a city, or build a small town to manage the construction out of, and then we're building a city. So it's a truly unique departure. I'm very proud of the way it's going. I failed to mention that earlier, but there's somebody in here that had a big hand in that. $1.2 billion in cash. That was not a phone call I was expecting to get. It made some things much easier. It made some things much more difficult, but it's the way it is. And to this point, not one bit of oversight. They trust what we have done to manage the project. I'll answer any questions that anybody has. If you have them, please feel free. I'm kind of blinded by the lights here.
I want to ask one.
Sir.
Turn me on. How has the modular design, how did that affect the efficiency and time?
So I'm a construction guy. I mean, you got me here up here talking about mental health, but I'm a construction guy when it comes down to it. There's no better way to build a prison today than with the modular construction with the seal cells. The quality control that goes into them, I don't need to talk to everybody in here. I was on the bus this morning with somebody from Idaho. I'd love to have a discussion about the labor force in Idaho. I have no idea what that is. I have some impressions of that. But the skills that it takes, the trades skills that it takes to build these facilities today, you're so hit and miss, you're so hard to recruit, you're so hard to manage in some of these environments. Even building this new facility that's actually within the sphere of Chicago, of trying to come up with the available workforce to build these. But if you want to keep a project on time, you want to keep it on schedule, you want on budget, and you want to control your quality. The way to do it is, I found after making a flight down here and spent several days right here, getting comfortable with the process, and they've exceeded all my expectations. I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that if I didn't believe in it. Rest assured. But it has so many advantages. It is the way to build a prison today. I mean, past the economics, the lifetime of the prison, it'll pay dividends by the quality control that's went into it. It's the way to keep a project on time, on schedule, and get a good product. Anyone else? You're an easy crowd.
Any idea what those cells look like? I mean, maybe there's something behind you?
Yes, I wasn't going to mention that, but so there's this little Indiana statute that says, and we did this a little bit differently. We bought the cells. We made the investment up front. We bought the cells. The cells that are behind me are cells for my little correctional facility in Northwest Indiana. And a little Indiana statute says that I have to send a fellow down here, or a person down here, a state employee has to come verify the asset before somebody gets paid for it. So we've actually had to send people to Georgia to verify the cells are in fact in a warehouse to pay them. So that was I couldn't even hire anybody in Georgia to make him a state employee. It had to be a tenured state employee. So an interesting twist. But these are my cells. A lot of them are already on site. I don't know exactly how many of them are on site and installed. I inspected a couple weeks ago before I went on vacation. But I'm telling you, folks, if you have any questions about the viability, look me up. Look me up over, and we'll have a long discussion. And it's a case that can't be beat. Anything else? Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Good job.